Hello, Internet. It's your friend Connor here with the Hero Arts monthly card challenge, hashtag husband style. Today we've got this cool ocean set that I think everybody likes. Who doesn't like going down to the beach and seeing ocean stuff? So today we're going to focus in on a technique called poppin' pastels, which is different than popping your collar, okay? But now this will be a cool technique. We're going to use pastels to color into the ocean. So I'm using Stampin' Pastels, but you can use any pastels. And so we're going to create a nice sunset in the ocean. And the stamps that we're going to use are these three layered ocean. Actually, these two. I'm not going to use that base color, so we're just going to use these two guys. And then there's a additional set that you can purchase with a lighthouse. So we're going to use this little lighthouse as part of this card. So first I'm going to kind of lay everything out. So we're going to have the ocean, the horizon be about a third up. So like in photography, it's good to think of thirds. So I'm going to have the ocean come up a third, and then the lighthouse is going to be focused in about a third from this edge. So I'm going to start with the first color. I'm going to move my paper. So a lot of the sunsets you see is the sun, it's yellow, and it's orange, and those are all pretty, but I also like a sunset where after the sun completely sets, it's kind of blue, and then all of a sudden there's like 15 minutes of just this amazing purple and pink. So we're going to try and recreate that kind of twilight-ish sunset. So a lot of blues and purples. So a little different. So I've lined up this guy, and we're going to use Versamark stamp pad. Now it's important to have a crappy one. You should have two of these. One's your good one, one's your bad one. Use the bad one with your pastels, because once you do, it instantly becomes your bad one. So it gets all gunked up. So we're going to stamp this up. Stamp that, and then we're going to grab our pastel, and I'm going to start with this purple. Take my sponge and the purple, and what's neat about this Versamark is when I put this down, it really clings to the pastel clings to the Versamark and just pops. Hence the poppin' pastel. Look at that. Look how much it just pops off the paper. Alright, and then next we're going to do the same thing but with the blue. So I'm using the purple as kind of as the shadow. So next we have the blue. And so I'm going to line this thing exactly on top of where it just was, and then shift it up just a tiny bit so it's still like almost overlapping the purple. And so that'll give this some depth with the blue. So again, we're going to ink this up with the Versamark. And lastly, we're going to add some zing of pink. And for that, we're going to get rid of this stamp and trade it for the smaller wave. Alright, next we're going to start on the sky. I'm going to start with some pink over in the left hand corner, so it's not going to be symmetrical. Start with pink in the left-hand corner, and it's not going to be symmetric. Just to help create some contrast with the lighthouse. And last little trick is we're going to add some clouds with the ocean. The upside down ocean is the sky. So we're going to do the same, pop in those pastels. I'm going to line up the thick dark edge underneath the horizon, so it's just the smaller waves above. This can kind of be anywhere. Hit it up with our Versamark. Stamp it like whoa. Now we're going to throw on the purple, same purple we just used, but ever so gently to just get those clouds. So unfortunately with this set, they didn't give you anything good to ground the lighthouse with. It was, they just sort of just said, here you are suckers, good luck. So you really need like a rock or a shoreline to put the lighthouse. So if I throw this lighthouse at the top of the horizon, that's a really big freaking lighthouse, because that's not how perspective works. So really the lighthouse should be somewhere down here. So we're going to make our own silhouette of some rocks. And so what I'm going to do is take a piece of paper, black piece of paper, and I'm just going to tear it. I'm sure this is called something. Paper tearing. So you get an edge like this, and then I'm just going to cut it real thin to the bottom. So this is just where personal preference. Alright, so I've got my piece of paper, and again, pretty simple. It's just black piece of paper. You can tear it if you want to, and make whatever sort of shape that you want. So this guy is going to be coming out around here. This is where our lighthouse is going to live. So we're going to go ahead and glue this guy down. Next, what I did, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to stamp the lighthouse on a piece of purple paper, and I'm going to use black ink. Alright, so we have our lighthouse cut out on purple because we're making it more of a silhouette. And so that's going to live out here somewhere. Maybe about there. Go ahead and glue it down. Alright, next we're going to add some light coming out of our white house. White house? Lighthouse. Or add some white to our lighthouse. So I've got a Q-tip and some My Monthly Hero white in a box. So I'm going to do a little dab dab. Go up to the top. Kind of color it in there. Show somebody's home and has the light on. Pretty simple. That's it. And before we conclude, let's go back to our chalk. That lighthouse, you know, there's a little bit of light, should be casting some sort of shadow. So we're going to go back to the chalk, take the black, and give it a slight Alright, next we're going to add a couple more details, like a sentiment. So we'll do greetings from my happy place. I think it also... Hey, bud. I'm also going to add a sailboat, help balance the card. Now we're going to glue this to a purple base. And then for good measure, we'll put this onto a white card backing. And that's it. So we've mounted the card to our white base. Pretty simple. And I hope that you've enjoyed making a card with me with Poppin' Pastels. Thank you so much for watching My Hero Arts #HusbandStyle.